What up is Marcus? We have Miss Haven here. Haven, you want to say hi? Yeah, you want to say hi? We'll put you back. We'll put you back. She's got the little hiccups here. So she's almost, 4 weeks old, 5 weeks old, somewhere around there. Time is flying by, and when you don't sleep, time definitely flies by. We're going to go through waivers here. We have week 12 waivers. So the biggest waiver claim right off the bat is Zach Charbonnet. So with an oblique injury with Kenneth Walker, we have a lot of question marks with if Kenneth Walker is going to be out. I think he will be for at least 1 to 2 weeks. Zach Charbonnet is a friendly reminder that you should have your handcuffs if you are a very good playoff team. I'm a team that I have a 10-1 team now, and Kenneth Walker was on that team, and I had Zach Charbonnet because I want to make sure that if something happens, that I'm going to be a team that goes into the playoffs strong and not super weak with all these injuries. I also have Devin H-Han now. He wanted to change his name to. I have Devin H-Han on that team too, and I do not have I do not have Mostert, so we're just kind of screwed there. But 60 plus yards in each of his last four games. He's still flex play even if Kenneth Walker comes back. And right now we need we have some desperate times. The next running back is Ty Chandler, 27% owned, 10 for 73. By the way, Charbonnet dumped the fab. At this point, I think he could be a draft capital wise. He was a second round draft pick. Dump the fab. Maybe save a couple bucks for playoffs, but it's time. Ty Chandler, 10 for 73 for touches. Note that it is technically 9 for 41. He had a 32-yard fake punt rush. And so kind of erase that from your mind, but Alexander Mattison, 18 touches, Chandler, 10. I think this becomes more of a 50-50 split. Ty Chandler looked good out of the receiving game. He looked dynamic. Definitely worth a stash here. Potentially flex in play if we really have to. Vikings bye week is after this Bears game, so just note that as a potential roster constraint issue. Throw in, I would say, probably 25 to 40% of your fab for Ty Chandler. The next one, we're going to go through some wide receivers. Hell, here. Man, they'll probably just block this video after I swore. No, I'm just kidding. Odell Beckham, 3%. That's why I was going Odell. And just kind of combined everything. That's what happens with no slate. That's all right. Double digits in 3 straight games. No Mark Andrews anymore. So Odell is going to be the high targeted guy, the deep threat guy, and it seems like that's what is just the Ravens are going to have to pivot here. So Zay Flowers is going to have a little bit more value. I don't think Bateman's going to be worth much here. So I think Odell is going to be the guy that can potentially be again that wide receiver 3 in a spot here with some of these bye weeks coming up. They also have a bye week 13. Jaden Reed. 20 touches, almost 300 yards total this last month. It seems like he is going to be the dynamic wide receiver of the offense right now. And so I thought it was going to be Romeo Doubs. Maybe it's not Romeo Doubs. Maybe it's Jaden Reed, and maybe it goes back to Romeo Doubs. I think that when you have Packers that are going to be down in a lot of games, they're going to be throwing a ton. Jordan Love has had an ugly but great fantasy kind of month lately. I wouldn't say great. He's had a good, serviceable month this last month. And even against the Chargers, he had a good matchup. And so did Jaden Reed, and we kind of predicted that. Wide receiver, Khalil Shakir, a player that we liked coming out of college, hasn't done much with this last month. 12.2 points per game, and I think that he is now starting to take over this Gabriel Davis spot. Gabriel Davis has been extremely disappointing the last 3 of his last 4 games, and so Khalil Shakir seems to be the wide receiver 2 of that team. I take it back. He's wide receiver 3 of that team. Dalton Kincaid is the wide receiver 2 and has been the new the target number 2. Khalil Shakir has been the target number 3 here, and then Gabriel Davis, at this point, you throw him on your bench, you hold on to him just in case, because Gabriel Davis is that type of player that is awesome when you are down or if you feel like you're a super big underdog. Put him on the roster because if you lose by 30, it doesn't matter. But he's also the guy that can get you 30 real quick. And he loves to see that playoff time. And so there you go. The next one is going to be tight end Isaiah Likely. I'm not going to be bidding much here. I think that the tight ends are really rough here. But Isaiah Likely, you even saw it. The rest of that game wasn't really targeted very much and not a very good part of the focal part of the offense. So, I mean, there's other tight ends that I'd rather have. I mean, look at Cade Otton, look at Hunter Henry. There are some other tight ends. We'll see about Tyler Conklin. A lot of it went to Rucker, but again, they kind of put their starters out and then they started passing. Give it a week before we almost probably go into the Jets type of offense because Man, that was ugly to watch. I mean, they had one catch, two catches by a wide receiver. Garrett Wilson had 2 catches for 9 yards and a fumble. That was their wide receiver core until Tim Boyle came in. Quarterbacks, Baker Mayfield, Gardner Minshew are going to be the 2 that we're going to talk about. They play against each other. Baker has actually been really well again this last month. He's been this Kirk Cousins-ish type of quarterback. Kirk Cousins prior to this year. This year, Kirk Cousins was actually really like MVP level type of Kirk Cousins, which was interesting. But Baker is going to be that Derek Carr, that Kirk Cousins-ish, that Jared Goff-ish type, that high-end quarterback too, and in certain spots against the Indianapolis Colts, I like that. And on the other side, Minshew against the Bucs. The Bucs have been bleeding points. Besides against Tennessee, they've been bleeding points to the quarterback position. And so Gardner Minshew, in a desperate time, you could potentially fill him in there. So, do you want to say hi, Haven? Like, I'm bald. Are you bald? All right, we're going to go feed her. All right, peace out. Take care. We'll see you again very soon.